Meteorologist Matt Yurosavik joining us here, taking a look at the national map. And boy, we've had a lot of things to talk about weather-wise over the last few days. What's next?
Yeah, so what's next is a storm system coming out of the southern plain states, and eventually it's going to move its way through the eastern half of the country. And that storm system down across Texas right now, bringing moisture along a warm front there in the southern plains and into the Mississippi River Valley. And as we head through the day on Friday, you're going to see a lot of that moisture come up through the center of the country, heading up towards the Great Lakes, and even some of that making the way into the mid-Atlantic states. That's really the only big storm player we've got right now, eventually starting to spread some wintry weather into portions of the Great Lakes and maybe even a little icing potential there, parts of Pennsylvania and into New York State. Now, as this system moves up the East Coast, it's going to drag another cold front along with it, some gusty winds behind that. Not as much as we've seen the last week, but still enough to kind of turn things up here with still some showers and thunderstorms down into the southeast coast as high pressure moves into the center of the country. So as we're looking at the precipitation, not a lot going on. Most of this back here in the Rockies is in the frozen form, but most of this down here is going to be in the liquid form. A lot of areas dealt with severe weather last week. Now going to see a drenching rain as they continue those cleanup efforts. And again, we've got to take a look at the frozen side of everything. More snow along the northern tier here in the Great Lakes, back up into the Rockies and even the Sierras as well. But then that system bringing a little bit of snow to Michigan and then spreading it into the northeast, where again there is going to be a battle between cold and warm, and right there is where we've got that icing potential. Northern parts of Pennsylvania into southern parts of New York State and then into southern New England as well. So something to keep an eye on as we head through Saturday and into Sunday. Temperatures going to be chilly, very cold behind that big storm system that just moved through and is now up into Canada. Colder air in the single digits there tomorrow morning, heading into Bismarck. Cold air all the way down into the Rockies and Denver. And then we're going to be looking at, again, another very chilly day across much of the western two-thirds of the country, with still the warmth hanging on. 80s down there in Florida. Very warm down that way, and that's all because of the jet stream. Look at this, the heat really sticking down there in the south and east. Still a little bit of cold dipping in as well, but very zonal flow as we're heading through the rest of really the weekend and into next week. It's not until we approach Christmas when we see a nice dip in the jet stream, maybe bringing in some cold air and maybe some chances for a white Christmas. That's a look around the country. Now let's take a look at the weather where you live. Mayfield, Kentucky, periods of heavy rain, a high of 58 degrees. Aberdeen, South Dakota, cold with snow likely, a high of 24. And Ogden, Utah, mostly cloudy with a snow shower, high of 32.